The energy you spend talking about your challenges or aspirations could be far more effectively spent on finding solutions, taking action, and moving forward. When you focus too much on explaining your situation, you waste precious moments that could be used to take the next step toward achieving your goals. Your time and focus are your most valuable resources, and once you begin to recognize that, you'll stop wasting them on conversations that don't serve your growth. Good morning, everyone. Too many people find themselves caught in a cycle of explaining their circumstances, recounting their challenges, and sharing the details of their personal lives with anyone who will listen. While it can be comforting to open up about what's happening, the truth is that these conversations rarely lead to positive change. The more you talk about your problems, the more you perpetuate them. The more you discuss your struggles, the more you dwell in them. But if you want to truly change your life, the first step is simple: stop telling people what's going on in your life and start showing them. Success is not defined by the words we speak, but by the actions we take. Too often, people get caught up in talking about what they're going to do, what they hope to achieve, or what they're currently dealing with. We get lost in the habit of sharing our thoughts, frustrations, and ambitions with others as if verbalizing them will somehow make them real. But the truth is, talking about your life and your goals won't bring you any closer to achieving them. It's easy to talk about your dreams, to tell people about your plans, but what really matters is whether or not you follow through with action. Actions are what truly define you. They reveal your character, your priorities, and your level of commitment. It's easy to say you want to be successful, to talk about how hard you're working, but actions speak louder than words. They show the world what you're really made of. Words can be comforting, they can offer temporary validation, but without the follow-through of action, they mean little. Success is not determined by what you say, but by what you do. The truth is, no one cares about how many times you talk about your goals or how often you tell others you're working hard. People notice what you're actually doing and how consistent you are with your efforts. It's the results you achieve through action that matter in the end. When you focus on taking action, you stop wasting time explaining yourself. You don't need to justify every decision you make or explain every challenge you're facing. Your actions will show people what you're capable of. Words can be easily manipulated, they can be misleading, or they can be interpreted in many ways. But actions are clear and undeniable. You don't need to tell people you're determined. You don't need to explain why you're working late or putting in extra effort. Your actions will prove it. In life, there's a temptation to get caught up in explaining things to others. You may feel the need to justify your choices, share every detail of your journey, or explain why things are difficult. But each time you engage in these conversations, you're not only using your time and energy, but also diverting your focus away from what really matters, your actions. The more you talk about what's going on in your life, the less you're focused on doing what needs to be done. This can be a dangerous cycle. When you spend too much time talking about your goals, your plans, or your challenges, you can end up convincing yourself that you've already accomplished something, even though you've done nothing. Speaking about your work doesn't replace the actual work. It's a form of mental comfort, a temporary release, but it doesn't move you closer to your objectives. Think about the people you respect most. Are they the ones who constantly tell you about their plans, or are they the ones who consistently show up, work hard, and let their results do the talking? True success is built on consistency and action, not words. No one cares about your story until your actions make them care. Talking about what's going on in your life is not going to change your situation. Action, on the other hand, will move you forward. If you want to change your life, you need to stop talking and start doing. When you focus on doing the work and letting your results speak for themselves, you create a life that demands attention not because you talk about it, but because your achievements make a statement. People may listen to what you say, but they will only believe what you do. So stop telling people what's going on in your life and start showing them through your actions. Let your success speak for itself. Instead of focusing on talking about what you're doing or what you hope to achieve, focus on the work that will take you there. Success is earned, not explained. The more action you take, the fewer words you'll need to speak. There is immense power in privacy, especially when it comes to your personal goals and progress. Too often people feel the need to broadcast every detail of their lives, whether it's their struggles, their ambitions, or their plans. They share their every move in the hope of gaining validation, sympathy, or support. However, the most impactful changes in your life are often the ones you make in silence, away from the spotlight. When you keep your goals, dreams, and challenges private, you give yourself the space to grow without external pressure or influence. In the world we live in, it's easy to be tempted to share your every move, your every decision, and your every goal with others. The rise of social media has amplified this tendency. People post everything from the smallest achievements to their biggest milestones, hoping for likes, comments, or praise. But what people often don't realize is that sharing your plans too openly can dilute the power of your focus. When you share too much, you may feel the need to perform, to explain yourself, or to seek approval, all of which can distract you from your true path. Keeping things private allows you to stay focused on the work that matters most, without worrying about what others think or say. The most successful people often choose to keep their personal plans under wraps. They don't boast about their next move. Instead, they quietly work towards it, putting in the effort required to make it happen. They understand that the real work is done in private. Success isn't achieved by announcing your intentions. It's achieved through consistent, behind-the-scenes effort. When you share too much, you run the risk of seeking validation from others before you've even had the chance to prove something to yourself. Instead of focusing on how others perceive your journey, focus on the actions that will lead you to the results you want. When you keep your goals to yourself, you give yourself the opportunity to build something without the distractions of external opinions. It's easy to get sidetracked by other people's thoughts, suggestions, or criticisms. By keeping your journey private, you avoid the risk of being influenced by other people's judgments. You can stay true to your own path and trust that your hard work will lead you where you want to go. You give yourself the freedom to fail without anyone watching, to pivot without needing an explanation, and to make mistakes without fear of judgment. This is where true growth happens. Moreover, the act of keeping things private builds a sense of discipline and self-reliance. When you don't rely on the validation of others, you learn to trust yourself. You develop the discipline to take consistent action even when no one is watching. This internal drive is far more powerful than the external validation that comes from telling others what you're doing. By keeping your plans and progress private, you make yourself accountable to yourself first and foremost. You rely on your own internal motivation to drive you forward. Success is a quiet process. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you need to tell everyone about your goals, your struggles, and your dreams. But the most profound progress often happens in silence. When you keep your journey private, you allow yourself to build something significant without needing to explain it to anyone. Let your actions speak for you. Let the results of your hard work be the evidence that shows you've been working towards something meaningful. There's power in privacy. By keeping your progress to yourself, you ensure that your success is based on your own efforts and not on the opinions or expectations of others. Every time you share the details of your struggles, goals, or aspirations, you risk diverting energy that could be better spent on solving problems and taking action. There's a tendency to feel validated when we talk about our challenges or discuss our plans. In the short term, it might feel good to vent, explain, or seek advice from others. But this energy can often be wasted if it's not directed toward the actions that will lead to tangible results. The truth is, every time you spend talking about your life, your goals, or your difficulties, you're taking valuable time and focus away from doing what actually moves the needle. The energy that could be used to overcome obstacles or make progress is instead consumed by explaining the situation to others or seeking external validation. We are creatures of habit, and it's easy to fall into the trap of explaining ourselves or seeking sympathy when things aren't going according to plan. We tell people what we're doing, what we hope to achieve, or how hard we're working, but this can quickly become a distraction. The more time we spend talking about our problems, the less time we have to solve them. The more we share our intentions, the less energy we have to execute on them. It becomes a cycle. We divert energy in a conversation instead of action, and we wonder why we're not making progress. Each time you tell someone about what's going on in your life, you might feel momentarily relieved, but you're also losing momentum. Instead of using that time to act, you're engaging in a form of mental comfort, a temporary release that doesn't actually change anything. It's easy to get caught up in seeking validation from others, especially when you're faced with challenges. We all want reassurance that we're on the right track or that our struggles are understood. But the truth is, no one can solve your problems except for you. No amount of talking will bring you closer to a solution. In fact, it often delays the process. The energy you spend talking about your challenges or aspirations could be far more effectively spent on finding solutions, taking action, and moving forward. When you focus too much on explaining your situation, you waste precious moments that could be used to take the next step toward achieving your goals. Your time and focus are your most valuable resources, and once you begin to recognize that, you'll stop wasting them on conversations that don't serve your growth. You may be surprised at how much progress you can make when you stop talking about what you're going through and start doing what needs to be done. When you're focused on action, your energy is spent on making progress rather than reliving or rehashing the same details. It's easy to fall into the habit of explaining yourself, but when you shift your focus to taking action, you will find that your problems shrink in proportion to the progress you make. Action is the antidote to uncertainty. The more you do, the less you need to talk. Energy is finite. Every moment spent discussing your struggles is a moment you could have used to take one more step forward. The more time you spend talking about your goals or difficulties, the less time you have to focus on the tasks that will help you achieve them. Conversations may feel good in the moment, but they rarely bring long-term results. The real progress comes from action, from investing your energy into solving the problem rather than discussing it. The more you redirect your energy into doing what needs to be done, the quicker you'll move closer to your desired outcome.